5 simple ways, really simple ways of meditating, which are all officially endorsed by Yoda. They're not really, but I'm pretty certain that our little green friend would be pretty cool with the 5 techniques that I'm about to show you. Number 1, the absolute best way to meditate is always the same way. It's always the same way. No matter who you are, no matter how old you are, no matter what state of mind you're in, the best way for anybody who has never meditated before is to start by focusing on your breath. By focusing on the movement of your breath between your lips, through your nose, and then focusing on that energy, on that breath moving through your body. If you do that for 5 to 10 minutes, if you just sit quietly and just focus on your breath, you'll have equanimity, which is calmness of mind. I challenge you to take 50 breaths mindfully. And then when you're finished, come back. Go. Number 2, Empire Strikes Back. You remember that absolutely brilliant training scene where Luke's on Dagobah with Yoda, and Yoda is saying to him to reach out with his feelings. But what does that mean? What does it actually mean to reach out with your feelings? Yoda talks to Luke about how the Force flows through all living things, and how Luke must be quiet in his mind in order to feel the oneness of that Force flowing through everything. But how do you do that? Well, the way to do that is with what is called open monitoring meditation techniques. Now, open monitoring meditations are different to the more traditional styles of meditation. Normally, you meditate on one specific thing. You might meditate on your breath, or you might meditate on a sound, or you might meditate on a mental image or anything like that. But with open monitoring meditation, you're focusing on everything. If you imagine just sitting with a completely still mind and the entire world flows through your mind because you're so quiet and peaceful, that's open monitoring. And that is how you feel the Force surrounding us, binding us together. Number 3, there's a scene in Empire Strikes Back where Yoda is talking to Luke and saying that he must unlearn what he has learned. But how do you unlearn what you've learned? The way in which you unlearn what you have learned is by being conscious of your own mind. And normally, you're kind of lost inside your thoughts. When you do mindfulness, you step outside of those thoughts and you see them for what they are. Now, Buddhists would also refer to this as vipassana. To unlearn what you have learned, you have to step outside of your own mind, not be lost in your own thoughts. Take a step back from yourself and be aware of the way in which you're thinking. Be aware of the fact that there are thoughts going on, but you're not your thoughts. You're this little consciousness, this radiant being, this purity that gets lost in thoughts, but which can also exist without those thoughts. When you step back from your thoughts, you unlearn what you have learned. Number 4. Number 4 is you're either gonna love it or hate it because it comes from The Last Jedi, and damn, are people hell bent on either loving The Last Jedi or, more commonly, really not liking it. So number 4 is all about Luke's death. So you know how Luke in The Last Jedi is sitting on the stones by the ocean and he cosmically flies? Well, cosmic flying became a major thing in the West with the rise of transcendental meditation. Now, transcendental meditation is a very popular kind of meditation that's done by celebrities. Transcendental meditation lost a lot of its clout in about 1967 when Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was the guy who created TM, Transcendental Meditation, he started talking about how TM leads to cosmic flying. It's really interesting to know that Luke in The Last Jedi is actually doing cosmic flying, which is famous in the West entirely for the wrong reasons, because transcendental meditation told everyone in the West that if you meditate, you're going to suddenly start flying all over the place. So that's always good to know. Number 5, Zen. So much in Star Wars comes down to Zen and Zen meditation. My goodness, if you've never heard about Zen, well, everyone's heard about Zen, but if you don't really know what Zen is, then you're going to be mind blown to learn how much of Star Wars and Star Wars' philosophy comes from the fact that George Lucas, back in the 70s, really got into Zen. Zen is one of the Buddhist forms, and it's a meditation technique which is all about sitting quietly, closing your mind off. And unlike in most other meditation techniques, Zen monks actually traditionally sit facing a wall to completely close out everything. And then they'll hold their hands in what is called cosmic mudra, like this, and focus your mind entirely on your breath. And that is the #1 meditation technique that all Jedi should do. So there are 4 meditation techniques that all Jedi should do, and one that Luke does that ends up killing him that you might not want to do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Press subscribe, and thanks for watching.